Thank you for joining us, guys, at the Reinmuth Team Podcast. We have with us today Rick Ward. Rick Ward is an amazing lender here in town in Colorado Springs. He is the guy that you go to get money to buy a house. He is the guy that you go to refinance. Whatever you need mortgage-wise, he's the guy. If you're military and you're wanting to purchase a home and you're stationed here in Colorado Springs, he works with Benchmark Mortgage, and he just kills it, man. He knows everything about loans. Let's talk about loans really quick. There's 3 types of loans. Tell me the 3 types of loans.
Yep. So, well, there's a bunch of them, but let's just, we talk about jumbo, conventional, and government loans, right?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
so
categories.
What's the traditional? I mean, people do VA. A lot of military does VA loans. Tell me a little bit about VA. Tell me what the benefits are.
Well, I'm a little biased, right, because I'm a veteran.
That's right.
But in all actuality, it is the best loan program on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
It's a loan that allows a military member, either active duty or a veteran, you earn the right to do a VA loan through your service, right? It is an earned opportunity that you have, right? Because you've made sacrifices. So the government said, you know what? We're going to put this loan program together where you have to put no money down, typically, right? There's some exceptions to that for people that have more than one property, but generally speaking, a first-time VA buyer, no money down, and on all the other loan programs, typically when you don't put any money down, you're going to have something called mortgage insurance that's added to your payment, your monthly payment. The VA doesn't have that. They eliminate that requirement, and it is typically the lower rates in a normal market than what it is on all the other loan types. And the qualifying is much looser and easier to qualify than any of the other loan types out there. And again, it's because of any man or woman that serves in the military, that they are literally trying to put together a program that says, hey, thank you for your service.
Sure.
Right?
Right.
So it's a great program. And what a lot of folks miss out on, or what's crazy, this statistic, more than 80% of military members wait until they get out of service to use their VA loan benefit.
Yes.
Which is crazy. Crazy. Don't wait. Take advantage of it now. And even if you're going to serve 20 years and then get out and retire, you can accumulate homes all over the country and start building a real estate portfolio that will give you true wealth as you approach a retirement.
Absolutely. I literally know multiple people who have been in the military. They come in, they go, hey, I want to buy a house. And we send them to you, and I find out that they have like 4 houses. You know how the old saying for Navy is there's a girl in every port? I mean, military could say, I have a house in every port. Right. Literally, a house in every station.
Yes.
And I'm going, oh, you guys are so awesome. You got 4 houses already? They're like, oh, yeah, I got one in Virginia. I got one over there. I got one, and they're all rented out.
Yeah.
And here they are buying another one.
Yeah.
And it's all really because the VA loan allows them to get in for 0 down, right? Pretty much 0.
Typically speaking,
okay, $1,000 maybe. I mean, I don't know. Really, hardly anything, right?
Yeah.
Because of their service. And then, when they're there a few years or whatever, they may refinance to a conventional loan or something like that. Then they're getting another one on the next port with a VA loan with hardly anything down, like almost nothing down.
Right.
And then they do that 4 different times. So what your theory of don't wait until you're out of the military. Do it now.
Right.
And keep the property.
Right.
Or sell it and make money.
Yeah, and think about this too. There's some caveats around that, obviously.
Sure.
Rules, but that, generally speaking, you're right about that. And I would say that remember when you're active duty military, you get your housing allowance income that the military gives you.
Yes.
Tax-free.
Yes. They pay for it.
Yeah. So take advantage of that, because don't give it to them to stay on post housing, which is way overpriced. And you're actually living where you work.
Right.
So you might want to get away from there. And the other piece of that is when you get to become a civilian again, you're making mortgage payments with your after-tax dollars. So it's a huge advantage.
Yeah.
So and I can do all the calculations and show somebody that, I'll hear, well, I'm going to PCS, I'm not just sure. And I can show them, typically speaking, if they're going to be at the duty assignment for 3 or more years, you should buy.
Yep.
Hands down. And the other thing you touched on earlier, Rob, was that rents continue to rise.
Right.
When you get a mortgage payment on a VA loan, it's a fixed payment, right?
Mm-hmm.
It
Yep.
doesn't go up every year.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
So but your rent does.
Yes.
So,
right.
So it's just most just don't know. And that's one of my missions, is to educate them. I wish that somebody had educated me. I did buy my first house when I came back from Germany and came to stateside, but I didn't know. I put money down. I didn't even have to.
Right. Yes.
I could have used that money for something else.
Right.
But, so
That's funny. Right. You literally have a benefit. You've been serving. You have to put zero down basically. And you're like, oh, I'll put 20 grand out of my pocket. Why? You could have had a 150-inch TV with that money, right?
or invested in something else.
Or you could have invested in the stock market. Exactly.
You know what's funny too, Rob, is I always like to put things in perspective. Like when I came back from Germany and bought my first house, my rate was 8%, and I had great credit.
Yep.
So it did not hinder me from buying a home.
Right.
So don't let these rates scare you. Traditionally speaking, we are still below the average of what, over the last 50 years, what the interest rates have averaged out at. So don't wait. Don't be scared.
Even if it was a townhome or something, like you might be renting a townhome for 2 years while you're here in the military, and renting a townhome or renting an apartment or something like that. So it's not your permanent home. No. So you could buy the townhome and own it, and you're basically, the government's paying down your mortgage, right?
Yeah.
Then you leave, and so it's not like, people think, well, I really would like a house and I don't want to. Well, you're going to be renting an apartment anyway. You're going to be renting a townhome anyway. They don't always rent houses.
Right.
So you might as well buy one of those and have it in your name.
Yeah, and think about that too. Usually townhomes cost less than a single family resident, generally speaking, not always. And they're easier to rent when you leave too, because right. that rent threshold might be lower than renting a house. Not that should sway you one way or the other, but if you're an enlisted soldier or a sailor or airman, and you're worried about your rank, what you might qualify for, like, they buy townhouses all day long.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And they rent them all day long.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
How do we contact you? Your number? Do you have a website? Like if we want to apply for a loan or something like that, where do we go?
Yeah. The best way is I give my cell phone out to everybody.
Okay.
So it's 719-229-0375.
Okay.
Call me. My wife and I know that people like to buy houses nights and weekends.
Sure.
So I answer my phone, and unless I'm on the phone serving a family. So just leave me a message. I always call back, and I want to be the first one to talk to you, even though I have a team of folks that support us through that process and help hold your hand the entire way.
Sure.
No matter what level you're on the scale, if you're a first-time home buyer, you're buying a jumbo, doing a jumbo loan, and you've got real estate everywhere.
Right.
And then, of course, our website is very easy. It's applywithrick.com.
Applywithrick.com.
Super easy.
So literally, if somebody's listening to this podcast right now and they're like, you know what, I think I want to ask Rick what I can be approved for or pre-approved for, they just go to applywithrick.com. And what are they going to find when they go there? Yeah.
So, there's a lot of stuff there, but, ultimately, do an application.
It's an application online.
Yep.
Secured.
Secure.
Beautiful.
Create their own account and answer some simple questions. Typically on an application is 2-year work history, 2-year living history, any assets you might have, some yes/no questions, and that's it.
Beautiful.
That's it.
And then you can get back to them, say, hey, I think we can qualify you up to X amount, and then they can call me, and we'll see what's out there.
That's exactly right.
Right?
Don't assume anything because you just don't know. We're seeing purchases in the 200,000s in Colorado Springs and Pueblo, and then we're seeing, it's a wide open market right now. I think you don't know until you know.
Right.
So
awesome. Well, anything else you want to add?
I think that's it. I think we take great pride in serving those who serve, and I know I've talked a lot about veterans, but we're also really big in our first responder community. So they serve as well too, and we don't want to overlook them because let's face it, that's a dangerous job these days, even more so than ever, and they deserve our respect. And we do use our platform as a way to say thank you to those that are serving both in the military and first responders. So I just want to end with that, and
awesome.
Appreciate you having me on
Beautiful.
the show.
Thank you, Rick, for being with us today.
Yep.
And you guys call Rick, go to his website and get pre-approved. And then when you're done, we'll find something for you. Have a great day.
Take care.